Hey Susie. So I'm gonna run you through a few exercises you can do with the bands. I'm gonna break it down by color. So we're gonna start off with the lightest ones. We got red, got the black one over here for some more exercises, and then I got purple. And we don't have blue, so the next best thing is green that we have. So it's basically the same thing. I think blue is a little bit less resistance, but it's still good. So let's start off with the red band first. So we can do upper body for right now. So simple ones are curls. You can either go hammer style curls, which means your hands are just neutral in this position. Depending on the strength of your people you have in your boot camp, depends on the band. But most people can go relatively. They can probably do black. Most of our clients here do black. You can go hammer style or underhand. This is underhand. It's a little bit easier, less tension. With the bands, the more you choke up on it, the harder it's going to be. So you can basically adjust the difficulty of it just by sliding your hands up or down, or depending on how you hold it. So again, there's regular curls, and if that hurts people's wrist, you can go hammer style, which is a little bit safer on the wrist, just back and forth, back and forth. Next one, we can hit some triceps. So that was biceps, so now we're gonna hit some triceps. So tricep extension. So there's a little bit of a technique to this. So I'll go ahead and show you. So you step in the band with one foot first. You're gonna go underhand. You're gonna close your hands, and you're gonna bring them together. So start off right here. You step in it. Bring both hands underhand like this. Close them. Put them together, and then you're gonna put that foot back. You're gonna swing it over. You're gonna keep your chin down, and then also keep your ribs down, because what tends to happen is people get this arch. So you want to bring it down right here. It's a lot safer on the back. Really squeeze the core, and you're gonna extend the arms, completely locking up the elbows. Triceps are completely gonna be on fire. Inhale on the down. Exhale, just back and forth, back and forth. And when you're gonna get out of it, bring that foot back and just swing it over, nice and careful. You don't want to like let it just slam over. It's really bad. So that's triceps right there. We can work some back. So you're gonna put the band over. You're gonna hinge over a little bit. Grab the band. You're pulling apart. Think about you're squeezing a walnut behind your shoulder blades. Arms are gonna be completely locked out, and they come back to about shoulder width. Don't let them come all the way back. You want to keep them about shoulder width apart. You're pulling out, exhale, inhale, coming back in. Just back and forth, nice controlled. That's working all your delts and then your back as well. Really good exercise. Next one, same thing, it can just be overhead. So I'll do it from a kneeling position, but right here, grab one band, or you can double it up, whatever you prefer, but I recommend just doing one. Start off overhead, and you're pulling and coming back in again. Still working back in your traps. So arms completely straight in the air like you made a goal, and then you're pulling straight down. The band should glide in the back of your head, just back and forth, back and forth. It still works lats as well, which is really good for pull-ups. Or if you want to double it, right here, again, same thing. Hands are next to the ears. You're pulling, coming down, coming back up nice and controlled. Just don't slap yourself with the band, just glides down your head nice and gently. It's all about control. Inhale, exhale. So that's all back. You can do resistance band push-ups. So put the band through your thumb, pull it behind you, and you're gonna lock it in with the other thumb. So hold on, technical difficulties. So I'm gonna try it again. Right here. So, as you can see, I put my hand through. So I put one thumb through, gonna put it around, and again, both thumbs are through the band. The band's gonna be resting on my back, my mid-back. And again, this just adds the difficulty to a push-up. So if you're really good at push-ups, or any of your clients are, this is the way to kind of step it up a little bit. So again, regular push-up position, off the toes or off the knees if you need to. But you're going down, and you're pushing up, nice and explosive. Control down, explode through. It puts the resistance on the going up portion, so not the lowering portion, but the going up. So you're gonna feel the resistance right here. You can see how the band has tension on it. So you're going down, you're pushing up, and you're gonna feel it right here. So you have to push a little bit harder, which makes the push-up just a little bit harder for your clients. All right, next one. We can hit some lower body. So we can do reverse lunges with the band. So step in the band, again, 1 foot in the band. You're gonna flip it over, so your wrists are gonna be about going backwards towards your ears. So again, step in the band, and you're just flipping it over, elbows nice and high. Or you're starting off with feet together, and then you're lunging back. This is a little bit safer on the knees, so people who feel like they can't lunge because of their knee, the band actually takes some tension off. Depending on the person's size, you might need to go up in a band. So maybe if someone who's a little bit heavier, I would recommend doing black band, but for like you're like 100 pounds, so red band would be really good. Again, just lunging back and coming back up again. Just back and forth, back and forth. So there's that. We can hit lateral lunges, so same concept, except you're going away from the band and coming back in again. So it's all about control. So feet together, your foot is going away from the band. So this foot, I'm gonna start with my left foot, is going away from the band. And you're sitting back into it, chest up. Both feet are nice and flat. Don't go on the toe or anything like that. You want both feet nice and flat and coming back up again. So again, elbows still high. Next one, we can go overhead press or squat to overhead press. So again, flipping it over, both feet are gonna be in the band this time, so let me scoot back a little bit. So see how both feet are in the band? You're gonna squat, and you can overhead press. Make sure abs are tight at the top and you're not arching. We don't want this arch in the lower back. We wanna keep it nice and neutral or straight, and ribs down, abs tight. Again, squat down, explode through the band, exhale, inhale, exhale. Make sure you lock out those elbows. What do we got next? We can do some rows. So again, depending on your client's strength level or your strength level, if they've never done this before, you can start them off with the red band, but all you're doing is putting the feet together. The band goes around the feet. I'm just gonna give you a side angle of this. Chest up, shoulders back. You're pulling in and controlling out. Don't let the shoulders round over. Don't let them be in this hunched over position. Nice and tall, good posture. We really want to focus on keeping that chest out, shoulders back, really accentuate it. Again, pulling in, coming back out, nice control, just back and forth. This is all back and biceps right here. So again, pulling in, coming out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for red band. With the red band, it's pretty simple. It's basic movements really, like rows, squats, things like that. I do recommend getting orange band as well. They're not too expensive, but I recommend getting some orange bands with the lightest band that they have. So, especially if you want to explore more complex exercises, definitely a good band to get is the orange. It's a good starting off band. They can work their way up through the colors. So the black band, this one's a little bit more, again, it's heavier. So what we can do with the black band is, again, we can do squats, just regular squats, no overhead presses. Squat down, coming up, just back and forth, back and forth. We can do what's called a hinge, or like basically a deadlift, just getting the motion of the deadlift. It's almost like the squat, except you're pushing your butt back, chest is up. See the difference between the hinge and the squat where I'm dropping straight down? So again, hinging gets them in that deadlift position, so they kind of activate their hips and their glutes. Just back and forth, back and forth. Again, we can do rows with this one. The seated band rows. And I showed you this one before. But if they're kind of in between black and red, what you can do is have their hands inside the loops instead of outside, because the way I showed you before was outside, so it's more grip strength or forearm strength. And then just putting your hands in the loops makes it a little bit easier. Again, pulling in, coming back down again, just back and forth, back and forth. Also with the black band, if you're doing squats and people saying, oh, my knee's hurting, oh, sorry about that, I'm just moving around a little bit. So they say if their knee's hurting a little bit, what we can do is you can tie a band. Let me just adjust this really quick. You can tie a band to maybe a bottom of a post or something. we have these little loops at my gym right here. So what you can do, so I'll show you how to do it. If you have like a bar or something like that, all you do is wrap it around and then you're gonna loop through. So again, what this does is takes the pressure off the knee, and you can do reverse lunges or squats with it. So again, if you're gonna do a reverse lunge, it goes over the front knee, and then you're lunging back and coming back up again. So again, let me get a side angle of that. The band takes all the tension off the knee, and then again, you see, you lunge, and the band pulls you forward, so none of that pressure goes on the knee. Let me just get a better angle of this. So lunge, see tension in the band? All that tension takes the pressure off, and coming back up again. Same thing with squats. You can either have them go both feet in. Again, see, always have the band at the knees. Let me get you a better angle. So always have the band at the knees. So right here, and then you can have them sit into it and squat. They really have to focus on keeping their heels flat because the band's gonna wanna pull them forward. So you see if I relax, it's pulling me forward. So again, always cue them to sit into it. It's like you're sitting into a chair. So again, sitting into it, coming back up again, just back and forth, but always make sure there's tension in the band, because if they're right here and there's no tension in the band, they're just gonna do regular squats. And if their knees are hurting, then they're gonna complain, and you can just tell them to be quiet. I'm just kidding. Okay, so purple band. I can show you a couple. I'm sorry. I can go one more thing with the red band, so let me kind of move this again. Sorry, it keeps falling. I know this video is kind of sloppy, but I'm doing it at a randomness. And I know you need help with some of the stuff, so with the bands. So another one you can attach it, because I know you have those poles outside in your backyard. So what you can do, again, tie it around. So grab the band, put it around the pole, and then it loops through. You can do what's called face pulls, which also works the back in your traps. So again, grab the band overhand like this. So you see, it's overhand like you're riding a bicycle, and you're gonna sit down into it like you're sitting into a chair. Head is gonna be back. You're pulling those fists towards your ears, coming back in again. So pulling in and coming out. Fists go towards your ears and back and forth. So, unless you have one of these, what we normally do face pulls with, if you don't have one of these, it's totally fine. You don't really need them, but this helps it a lot more. So again, if you don't have those, just use the regular band. Go with the red band for this one. And again, you're sitting into it. Hands are gonna be the overhand like you're riding a bike, and you're pulling in towards your ears. The band's probably gonna end up in your mouth, but that's where you want really squeeze the back, coming back in again. So those are called face pulls. So let's go purple band now. So still working back, but we can do double arm. So again, you're sitting into it. You're gonna have a neutral grip, which means you're just gonna hold it like this. So again, grab the band, and I'm gonna be overhand, and then I'm gonna turn in. So you see right here, and turning in the elbows, sitting into it, you're pulling in and coming back out again. So you can rotate the hands if you want, or you can just keep them neutral, whatever you prefer. But again, make sure your clients are sitting into it. They're pulling in, really squeezing the back as hard as they can, and controlling the down. Don't let them round over again. Always want to keep that chest up and shoulders back. So again, pulling in, coming back in again, pulling in. It's a little bit more tension. So if that's too hard for them, just do it with the black band. And yeah, purple's pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. So only use purple if you're gonna teach your clients how to do pull-ups. Especially if they're heavier, you want to use the heavier resistance. Like for you, I'd probably recommend doing your pull-ups with the black band when you start to fatigue, because I know you said you can do 15 pull-ups. So if you start fatiguing, you can throw the black band or even the red band on because you're light. But for heavier clients, definitely use the heavier bands. Purple and blue will be your go-to to start start them on pull-ups. I'm just thinking of a bunch of exercises right now. Let's go back to red band. So I have red band right here. They keep coming to me as I'm going. So you can do a press with the red band. So let's have one leg back. So the arm you're gonna press with, that same leg is gonna be back. So these are feet together. I'm gonna press with my left first, which means my left is gonna be back. And the reason I do that, it makes them required to stabilize a little bit more, so they have a little bit more balance and working on balance. Again, pretend like you're in your fighting stance. You're punching out, coming back in again, punching out, coming back in again. The farther you go out, so the farther I come towards the camera, the harder the resistance. So this one's a little bit harder. Again, you're pressing, coming back in. Make sure the elbow doesn't go all the way back or they rotate. You don't want that. You want to keep their torso squared. You're punching and you're coming back again. You see how I don't rotate all the way back? You gotta keep it nice and stable. It really works on their core as well, so they really gotta squeeze their abs and also squeeze their ass, because again, it's unbalanced, so they really have to be stable on this one. And try to keep their feet forward. Don't let their feet kind of flare out. So what I mean by that, let me show you my feet. What tends to happen, what I see a lot, is the people's stance. It should be straight like this, but they'll end up with that back foot off to the side. So we want to be nice and straight to keep everything in line. So we just adjust it again and again. Split stance. You're punching out, coming back in again. You can do whatever reps you want on it, and again you're going to switch sides and you're punching out, coming back in again, just back and forth, back and forth. So let's go to green band. Let me take you on a little ride over here. Green band, well, you have the blue, the green's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit more resistance. Let me just adjust the camera really quick. So again, green band, right here. The only thing I really like doing green bands for is like agility work. So like backpedaling and sprinting. So I prefer the backpedaling. It's a little bit safer, especially anyone who has ankle issues. The backpedaling's a little bit safer. Just for the reason because of the way the ankle is angled during it. So you're gonna grab the band. This one might pull your pants down, so be prepared for that. You're putting the band over your hips right here. One foot is gonna be forward, so I'm gonna start out with my right foot forward. I'm gonna be in a sprinter stance, and then I'm exploding out, and then I'm walking back in. So really slow, back in control. You don't want them just plopping into something. So again, and keep switching sides. So now I'm doing with my left, I'm in my athletic stance, I'm sprinting out, pumping my arms, and coming back in, nice and control. Make sure you cue them to pump their arms and explode, and don't stop moving your feet, because once you do, all the momentum goes away and you might just end up plopping forward. So again, just keep switching sides, butt low, you're coming out, and you're coming back in. So it's another good exercise for explosiveness, and it gets them really tired as well. I'm not gonna lie. Another one, we're gonna go back to black band. Yes, this video is very all over the place right now because the exercise is just coming to me as I'm going. So again, let me adjust the camera just a tad. Or I can just put it right here. That works. All right. So another one, they're called pull-throughs. So what this does, it's also getting the person teach them how to do the deadlift position. What it's doing is working your hips and your ass. It's gonna be a weird looking exercise. Don't judge it, but it's a really good exercise to get people started on, especially if you want them to start deadlifting like with a kettlebell or a dumbbell. This definitely gets them going with the actual range of motion, which means just the form of the exercise. So the band is gonna be through your legs. You're gonna let the band sink them all the way down. So you see my hands go all the way through my legs. My elbows are locked out. So it's not a upper body exercise. It's all lower body. So you might see some people pulling with their hands. You don't wanna do that. Again, you don't do anything with your hands. It's all hips and butt. So you're letting it pull you all the way in, and you're coming out and you're thrusting. Again, squeeze your ass, and you should feel it in your hamstrings as you explode through. Exhale, Inhale, coming back in again. This is the whole deadlift range of motion that they have to go through, especially if you want to start doing deadlifts. Best workout for your booty and hamstrings. Again, make sure your knees are out. Don't let the knees cave in at all. Knees are out, activating your hips. Thrust through. You're gonna squeeze your ass and squeeze your quads as you're going, just back and forth, back and forth. With this one, most people can go relatively heavy for this one, so you can do black band or purple band. For your really good people with really strong asses, you can do blue, but most people are good with the black or the purple. Some people might even need red, but I doubt it. But yeah, that's a really good glute and hamstring exercise for them. And then let's see what else I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it for right now. If I think of more, I just gave you the basics. I know it's a lot of information, 18 minutes of information. So if I think of more, I will definitely send another video for you. And yeah, so let's try out those for right now, and then just get back to me on how you like them, how you did them, what worked, what didn't work, and then I can find some easier ones for you or more complex ones for you, whatever you want. Bye, I love you.